Okay, all right. So please refer to the slide. Okay. So I'm recording this for the purpose for your future reference and also for those second intake when you reference later on. Okay. All right. Okay. Last time we have discussed about carbohydrate. So any problem with carbohydrate? Have you watched the videos? Do you understand? All right. So have you done with the exercise? Okay, slow sikit. So mungkin ada yang belum buat exercise tapi tak apa, kita akan discuss tu lepas-lepas ni. Okay? Alright. So now today we are moving into the new subtopic. So the new subtopic is about lipids. Okay, lipids. So these are the LO for lipids. Since again, LO is not given in your notes, you can capture the image or later on you may refer to the recording and copy down later on. Okay, so up to you. So the LO for lipid today are, you can see, to list the property of lipid, to describe the structure and give example of triglyceride, phospholipids, and steroid, and also to differentiate saturated and unsaturated fat. Okay, right. So what we are going to learn today is that lipid is actually ada 3 jenis yang kita akan belajar hari ni, iaitu triglyceride, this one, number 2, phospholipid, and number 3, steroid. So each of these type or structure of lipid are different. Okay, setiap satu tu fungsi dia beza, struktur dia berbeza. Suara madam jelas ke? Okay, alright. So we are going to look at the differences between each category of lipid later on. Okay, right. Okay, now talking about lipid. Remember, lipid is not a polymer. And thus, they are not also considered as macromolecule. Remember how many types of macromolecule? 3. Macromolecule ada 3 sahaja, iaitu carbohydrate, protein, amino acid, and number 3 is nucleic acid. Okay, these are macromolecule. Okay, alright. So as we know that kita dah belajar, ingat tak madam suruh you all buat table? We have here macromolecule, right? And we have the monomer, and we have the polymer, okay? And we have the covalent bond. Okay, number 1, we have discussed about carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is made of monomer known as glucose ataupun fructose ataupun galactose. Semua ni kita panggil monosaccharide. Okay. Monosaccharida, yes. Monosaccharide, example, glucose, fructose, and galactose. Right. Okay. So carbohydrate is made of monosaccharide like glucose, fructose, or galactose, and they are going to form polymer. Nama dia glucose campur glucose campur glucose campur, dia akan jadi polysaccharide. Kan? Glucose campur glucose diikat oleh ikatan kovalent namanya glycosidic linkage. Okay, glycosidic linkage. Okay. This is one that we have learned, carbohydrate. So protein pun sama, dia ada monomer dia, polymer dia, covalent bond dia. Okay, itu semua nanti. But as for lipid, lipid are not going to form polymer. Meaning to say, you takkan ada nama polylipid. Tak ada. Right? So, thus, they are not considered as molecule. So, dia tak termasuk dalam kategori any of these molecule. Okay? Right. Next one. What is the property of lipid? Lipid are hydrophobic. Hydro means water. Phobic means phobia, does not like. Right? Ataupun kita panggil water hatred. Dia tak suka air. So, sifat lemak ialah they are not having affinity towards water. Maksudnya apa? Affinity maksudnya apa? Affinity. Kecenderungan. So, dia tidak ada kecenderungan terhadap air. So, dia boleh bertindak balas dengan air ke tak? Tak. So, it cannot react in water. Cannot react with water. Okay? Affinity maksudnya kecenderungan. Tidak ada kecenderungan terhadap air. Sebab tu, whenever we drop an oil onto or into a water, kita titiskan setitis minyak dalam air. Apa jadi dengan minyak tu? Minyak tu macam seolah-olah dia membentuk titisan, droplet. Right? So, it cannot make bonds with water. Right? So, that's why dia jadi macam bulat. Macam tu. Okay? Right. So, lipid consisting mostly of hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon maksudnya dia ada hydrogen, ada carbon. So, CH panjang sangat hydrocarbon chain. And thus forming non-polar covalent bond. So, since they are hydrophobic, they cannot react with water. So, the bond form also known as non-polar covalent bond. Nama covalent bond tu adalah, Madam bagi tahu siap-siap, ester linkage. Ester linkage. Okay, ni nama dia. Non-polar covalent bond, known as ester linkage. Okay, ESTER. Okay, right. So, the classes of lipid are fat, phospholipid, and steroid. So, we are going to see what are the difference between fat, phospholipid, and steroid. Okay. All right. So first, let's start with fat. Okay. So fat ataupun kita panggil sebagai triglyceride. Okay, right. So fat or triglyceride is made up of glycerol and fatty acid. How many fatty acid? 3 fatty acid plus 1 glycerol, and they are linked together with ester linkage. So 3 fatty acid gabung dengan 1 glycerol, dia akan membentuk triglyceride ataupun triacyl glycerol. 3 maksudnya 3. Triglyceride ataupun triacyl glycerol. Okay? Alright. So ingat, yang nombor 1 kita tengah discuss sekarang fat. So means to say here, it is made of 3 fatty acid and 1 glycerol. Okay, ini keyword yang paling penting yang you kena bawa. I mean, you kena hafal. Untuk fat or triglyceride, they are made of 3 fatty acid and 1 glycerol. Okay. Okay, kejap. I'm just afraid suara tak keluar. Okay, next. Now, the fatty acid, remember there are 3 fatty acids. The fatty acid can be all, the fatty acid can be all the same kind. Maksudnya 3 fatty acid tu boleh jadi sama, or it can be 2 or 3 of different kinds. Mungkin ada yang tak sama. Okay, now let's see the picture. Over here. Sekejap Okay. Okay, sebelum tu. The fatty acids. Remember, the fatty acid tadi ada berapa? 3. It can be the same kind, it can be different kinds. Okay. Fatty acid must have carboxyl group at the end of the carbon skeleton. Fatty acid mesti ada carboxyl group. Apa carboxyl group? C double bond O, OH. Ataupun COOH. Dia mesti ada carboxyl group at the end of the skeleton. Di hujung kerangka karbon. Di hujung kerangka karbon. Okay. So non-polar covalent bond in the hydrocarbon skeleton make the fat become hydrophobic. So this non-polar covalent bond, which is the siapa nama tadi? Ester linkage in the hydrocarbon make the hydrocarbon become hydrophobic. Okay. Fat separate from water because water molecule make hydrogen bonds to one another, exclude the fat. Maknanya, contohlah ini permukaan air, kita letakkan minyak, minyak akan jadi droplet macam ni. Kenapa? Sebab sesama molekul air ni, they are making hydrogen bond among themselves. Air buat hydrogen bond sesama air yang kita dah belajar sebelum ni, but excluding water. Dia takkan buat ikatan dengan, dia takkan buat ikatan dengan lemak ataupun ni lah, fat lah. That's why fat separate from water. Okay, right. Okay. So, gambar you all dengan gambar medium lain. Okay, Madam tunjuk gambar medium dulu. Okay, now, conteng kat buku. Okay, which one is glycerol? Okay, glycerol ini. This is glycerol. Okay, asal usul dia macam mana? Glycerol ni bentuk dia macam ni. C3. Lepas tu yang ini ni sebenarnya OH. This is hydroxyl group. Dia sebenarnya macam ni. OH, OH, OH. Yang lain semua H. This is actually glycerol. So the whole thing over here is glycerol. Okay. Okay. Mana satu fatty acid? Mana 3 tu? Ni satu. This is one fatty acid. This is another fatty acid. And this is another fatty acid. Nampak tak? Macam mana you tahu ni fatty acid? Dia kata apa tadi? A fatty acid must have carboxyl group at the end of the carbon skeleton. Mana carboxyl group? Yang ini. C double bond OH. Nampak tak? So this is the carboxyl group. Ada berapa carboxyl group? 3 lah. Sebab ada 3 fatty acid. This is carboxyl group. Tu. Okay. So fatty acid compose ataupun have carboxyl group and hydrocarbon. Mana hydrocarbon? Yang ni lah. CH2, 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 CH3. Ni semua adalah hydrocarbon. Okay, now look at fatty acid number 1, fatty acid number 2, and fatty acid number 3. Are they the same kind? Cuba tengok betul-betul. Sama ke tak sama jenis? CH2, 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 sama tak? These 3 fatty acid are all the same kind. So tulis dalam nota you all. Ni adalah same kind of fatty acid. Tengok gambar yang madam punya tu, yang gambar you all punya lain yang madam. Kita tengok gambar yang ni dulu. Kalau yang ni, yang ini, they are all the same kind. Right. Okay, right. Okay, next, madam nak tunjuk where is the ester linkage. Okay, padam meja. Okay, where is the ester linkage? Proses sama. Kita nak buat ikatan, nak gabungkan sesuatu, kita kena buang air. Okay, so kita nak buang air yang mana ni? Nampak ni? OH from carboxyl group, H daripada glycerol. Buang ni, buang ni, buang ni. Berapa molekul air kita buang? 3 molekul air. So you can see down here. Nampak tak? This is where you have the ester linkage as you remove 3 molecules of water. Proses ni nama apa? Proses buang air? Apa dia? Condensation or hydrolysis tambah air. Ni kita buang. Dehydration. Dehydration or condensation. Okay. Alright. Berapa air kita buang? 3. 3 molecule of water. Madam, kenapa kat sini ada tambah 3, madam? Tambah ni sebab kita dah tunjukkan proses tu dah berlaku. So, air akan pergi sebelah sana. Okay. So, remove 3 molecules of water. Okay. Alright. So, where is the ester linkage? So, ingat, ester linkage mesti terbentuk antara carboxyl group dengan oksigen yang tinggal tu. So, this is the ester linkage. Okay. Ada berapa ikatan ester linkage? 3 lah. Sebab dia gabung ni dengan ni, ni dengan ni, ni dengan ni. Okay, right. Okay, boleh? Okay, now look at your picture. Okay, the same thing. You have glycerol. This is glycerol. Okay, and this is fatty acid 1, fatty acid 2, fatty acid 3. Okay, now look at the fatty acid. Are they the same kind? Which one yang tak sama? Fatty acid number 2. You can see that fatty acid number 2, fatty acid number 1 and number 3 are the same kind. Fatty acid number 2 are different. Okay, you can see that 2 of the fatty acid are identical. Okay, so conteng. So you kena kenal. Tugas you ialah untuk kenal pasti ini sama ke lain fatty acid dia. Berapa fatty acid? 3 ke, 2 fatty acid ke, apa ke? Which one is glycerol? Which one is fatty acid chain? Okay, where is the ester linkage? So itu tugas you all. So this is ester linkage, ester linkage, ester linkage. Soalan exam macam tu je. Dia akan bagi gambar, dia tandakan A, B, C, D. Which of the following is the ester linkage? Atau which of the following is the non-polar covalent bond in fat? Which of the following is non-polar covalent bond in fat? So it referring to ester linkage. So you kena kenal kat mana ester linkage terbentuk. Alright? Okay. Okay, so far, any question? Tak ada. Okay. Okay, next we go. We are still talking about fat, yeah? Right? Remember, lipid ada 3. Fat, phospholipid, and steroid. So we are now still talking about fat. Okay, you dah kenal, fat is made of 3 fatty acid and 1 glycerol. The fatty acid can be all the same kind, or it can be different kind. Understand? Okay. Now we are going to explore more about the fat, which we are going to see the types of fat. Jenis-jenis lemak. So jenis-jenis lemak ada 2. Number 1, saturated fat. Bahasa Melayu, lemak tepu. Okay. Number 2 is unsaturated fat. Makna lemak tak tepu. Okay. Kenapa nama dia tepu? Kenapa nama dia tak tepu? Right. Okay. So, apa tadi? Okay. Saturated fat. Okay. Saturated fat is made of, terbentuk daripada saturated fatty acid. Terbentuk daripada fatty acid yang tepu. Apa maksud fatty acid tepu ni? Apa maksud? Kenapa nama dia tepu? Dia tepu sebab ini. Nombor 1, nombor 2. Saturated fatty acid means fatty acid that has no carbon to carbon. Cara nak sebut dia carbon to carbon. No carbon to carbon double bond. Tak ada double bond antara carbon. Maksud dia apa? Contoh, madam buat ni. C2. Tak ada double bond kan? So, bila C2, H awak akan penuh. H, 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 H. So, dia jadi C2, H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nampak tak? No carbon to carbon double bond. Ni. Ni ha. Tak ada carbon-carbon double bond. So, it has maximum number of hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom adalah dalam keadaan maksimum, penuh hydrogen atom. Faham ke tak? Yang tu. Okay. Right. Okay. Next. Apa lagi sifat dia? It usually solid at room temperature. Biasanya lemak tepung ni dalam keadaan solid. Contoh. Mentega. Butter. Butter mentega sama ke lain? Margarine. Pelanta. Ghee. Minyak sapi. Minyak sapi solid kan? Minyak sapi. Lemak kita bawah kulit ni saturated fat. Okay. So contoh animal fat like butter. Lagi margarine. Okay. Butter tu peanut butter ke whatever lah. Alright. Dia dalam bentuk solid. Okay. Okay, faham yang tu? Okay. Right. Second one. Unsaturated fat. Okay. Unsaturated fat. Lemak tidak tepu. So, lemak tak tepu is made of one or more unsaturated fatty acid. Remember fatty acid ada berapa tadi? Ada 3. Mungkin antara 3 ni ada 1 atau ada 2 fatty acid yang unsaturated. Apa maksud unsaturated? Tak tepu. Apa maksud tak tepu kat sini? Unsaturated fat means 1 and 2. Apa maksud tak tepu tu ialah ini. Has 1 or more carbon to carbon double bond. Okay, contoh. Carbon to carbon. Dia ada double bond. Macam ini. Nampak tak? Carbon to carbon double bond. So, hydrogen dia? Very good. Ada 4 sahaja. Sebab dia tak maksimum. Nampak? So, dia disebabkan ada double bond tu, maka dia jadi C2H4. Okay? Dia ada 1 atau lebih carbon to carbon double bond. Right? So, the hydrogen atom is not maximum. And, lagi satu benda baru. When there is carbon to carbon double bond, apabila ada je double bond, it will form kings. Kat mana tempat yang ada double bond, dia akan membentuk kings. Apa maksud kings? Kings itu ialah satu bengkokan. Struktur yang membengkok. Okey, dekat rantaian hidrokarbon tu, you akan nampak satu struktur yang membengkok. Okey, kejap lagi Madam tunjuk. Right. It has kink. So what does it mean by having kink? Kink will prevent the molecule from packing tightly at room temperature. So the kink help ataupun make sure molecule ni will not packing tightly. Apa maksud not packing tightly? Dia tak jadi penuh. Maksudnya dia akan pastikan molekul tu hidrogen dia tak akan penuh. Padat ataupun padat kita panggil. Right? Faham eh? Kink prevent the molecule from packing tightly ataupun kita panggil padat lah. Dia menghalang dia molekul tu jadi padat. Kalau dia jadi padat, dia akan tukar jadi tepu. Bila tepu dia akan jadi solid. Faham tak? Okay, contoh. Apa contoh unsaturated fat? Contohnya ni, plant oil. Minyak masak, minyak kelapa, minyak zaitun, minyak ikan. Yang daripada ikan, unsaturated. Kalau daripada haiwan, saturated. Faham tak? Sebab tu minyak masak duduklah kat luar dalam storage berapa lama pun, dia masih lagi dalam keadaan liquid. Cecair. Sebab dia compose or contain unsaturated fatty acid. Faham? Okay. Tapi madam, kan kita ada margarine daisy. Kan margarine daisy sapu kat roti tu? Kan dia keras. Kenapa boleh margarine daisy tu keras? Sedangkan dia adalah berasal daripada minyak daripada bunga. Bunga matahari ke, bunga apa ke kan? Kerana minyak itu telah mengalami proses penambahan hidrogen. Kita tambahkan hidrogen kepada molekul itu, so dia akan jadi liquid tukar kepada solid. Tapi nampak tak beza? Kalau daisy, margarine daisy, awak letak kat luar sekejap, dia dah cepat cair. Berbanding dengan margarine ke, peanut butter ke, kan? Faham tak? Okay, right. Okay, so which one is good for your health? Consuming unsaturated fat or saturated fat? Unsaturated. Sebab tu kita digalakkan makan minyak habatus sauda, minyak olive, apa lagi? Minyak daripada ikan, minyak kelapa kan, sebab dia mengandungi lemak-lemak yang lemak baik. Situ. Okay. Okay. Alright. Now, Mina akan uji you punya kefahaman mengenai saturated or unsaturated kejap lagi. Right. You can see here, this is an example of olive oil. Right. Tengok gambar betul-betul. Gambar you all pun ada kan? Olive oil. At room temperature, the molecule of unsaturated fat, such as olive oil, cannot pack together closely. Itu maksud dia cannot pack tightly lah. Sama maksud cannot pack tightly. Maksudnya dia molekul dia tak akan jadi padat, right? Because of the kink. Due to the presence of kink. Okay. Alright. Okay. Tengok sini. This is the chemical structure ni. Chemical structure of olive oil. Okay. Now, which one is glycerol? Kat mana glycerol? Ni sebahagian daripada sini ni, ini adalah sebahagian daripada glycerol. So ni glycerol. Okay, kat mana ester linkage? Yang ada O tengah-tengah tu. Ni O, antara O dengan O. Kat sini. So this is salah. Salah. Ni tengok kat sini tadi. Mana ester? Dengan C double bond O sekali. Okay. So sini sampai sini ni. Ni adalah kawasan ester linkage. Okay. So mana fatty acid? Yang zigzag tu semua adalah fatty acid chain. Okay. Mungkin yang apa tak pernah ambil chemistry mungkin you keliru. Madam, kenapa dia zigzag? Sebenarnya dia adalah singkatan untuk CH2 sambung CH2 sambung CH2 yang sangat panjang. So nak ringkaskan dia buat macam tu je. Okay. Alright. So these are fatty acid 1, this is fatty acid 2, this is fatty acid 3. Nampak tak? 3 fatty acid tu. Okay. Did you see any double bond over here? Nampak tak ada double bond ketak dekat fatty acid tu? Ada. Ni nampak ni. This is the double bond. So the presence of double bond make the structure form kink. Nampak tak? Bila start ada double bond dia akan struktur daripada straight dia akan jadi sengit, membengkok. Straight dia bengkok. So kesimpulan dia apa? Whenever you see kink, meaning there is double bond. Carbon to carbon double bond. Whenever you see kink like this, apa ni? Sengit, sini sengit. Meaning there is carbon to carbon double bond. So this one is carbon to carbon double bond which form kink. Okay. Boleh? Faham? Any question? Tak ada. Okay. Now, let's look at this one. Okay, jangan baca apa-apa. Just directly go and look at the picture. Picture A and picture B. Okay, tengok structure tu. A and B. Jangan baca apa-apa. Tengok gambar je. Which one is saturated fatty acid? Which one is saturated fatty acid? Mana you tahu A? Because there is no carbon to carbon double bond. Ataupun there is no kink. Ataupun hydrogen atom is at maximum. Very good. Okay. You kena kenal pasti bila tengok tu kena tahu ini saturated ke unsaturated fatty acid. Okay. As for B, B is unsaturated fatty acid sebab yes. Satu sebab you nampak kink. You boleh kata because of the kink. You nampak dia straight lepas tu dia bengkok sikit kan? Because of kink or because you can see there is carbon to carbon double bond or because of the kink. So remember what is the function of kink? Soalan ni suka tanya. What is the function of kink? What is the importance of kink? To prevent molecule from pack tightly ke, tightly pack ke, tak kisah. Asalkan maksud dia memastikan dia tak jadi padat at room temperature. Okay. Okay, boleh? Alright. Nak uji lagi sekali you punya kefahaman? That test again by looking at this picture. All of these three fatty acids, fatty acid 1, 2, and 3, are they saturated or unsaturated? Saturated or unsaturated? 1, 2, and 3. Saturated. All of them are saturated because you can see none of the fatty acid having carbon to carbon double bond. Tak ada. Okay, faham? Very good. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, settle yang tu. Now continue. Okay. Hydrogenated vegetable oil. Hydrogenated maksudnya apa? Hydrogenated. Telah ditambahkan hydrogen. Hydrogenated means telah ditambahkan hydrogen. Okay. Hydrogenated vegetable oil means vegetable oil that has been added with hydrogen. Proses dia kita panggil, kini salin tak dalam nota. The process is known as hydrogenation. Proses dia dinamakan hydrogenation. Hydrogenation maksudnya apa? Proses penambahan hydrogen. Kepada siapa? Kepada vegetable oil. Kenapa vegetable oil ditambahkan hydrogen? To convert it become saturated. Okay, so hydrogenated vegetable oil or we call as trans fat. Trans maksudnya? Transgender? Trans. Tukar. So lemak yang telah ditukar. Daripada unsaturated kepada saturated dengan cara penambahan hydrogen. Okay, so it happens synthetically. Synthetically maksudnya secara sintetik lah, bukan natural. Kita yang buat sendiri dekat lab ke, dekat kilang ke, macam itulah. Right? So it's a process where unsaturated fat is converted into saturated fat by addition of hydrogen. That's why we have peanut butter and also margarine. Kan? So asal usul peanut butter daripada minyak kacang. Daripada kacang tu punya minyak. Dia dalam bentuk cair sebenarnya, liquid. Right? Dan kita tukar dia kepada solid, jadilah peanut butter, kan? Tapi perasan tak lama-lama tinggal peanut butter tu tak guna, kita nampak naik minyak dia, kan? Macam tu. Similar goes to margarine. Okay, right. So, consumption of trans fat. Ingat, apabila kita banyak sangat mengambil trans fat, maksudnya trans fat ialah lemak-lemak yang telah ditukar daripada unsaturated kepada saturated, it can increase the risk of coronary heart disease. Meningkatkan risiko untuk penyakit jantung. Kenapa? Because consumption of trans fat increase LDL and decrease HDL. LDL tu apa dia? Low density lipoprotein. Lipo is lipid. Protein is protein lah. Dalam bahasa biasa, bad cholesterol. Ni LDL is bad cholesterol. Ni you all kena tahu ni, nurses semua. Okay. HDL is a good cholesterol. Okay. So kalau banyak makan sangat trans fat, it can increase level of LDL dalam darah. So bila LDL ni tinggi, meaning to say the bad cholesterol is high, right? So tugas dia akan bawa lemak-lemak ni berkumpul dan pergi kepada kita punya organ. Sumbatkan salur darah ke, melekat dekat keliling jantung ke. So tu tugas bad cholesterol. Okay, right. But which one is better sebenarnya? We need to get a good cholesterol. Maksudnya kolesterol bukannya jahat. Kolesterol ada yang baik. So kolesterol baik ni apa contoh dia? Yang tadi tu lah. Minyak daripada tumbuhan, minyak daripada ikan, that having high HDL. HDL tinggi, LDL rendah. So good cholesterol buat apa? Dia bawa lemak-lemak jahat jauh daripada organ. So tugas HDL. Okay. So kita kena ambil makanan yang tinggi HDL. Macam itulah. Okay. Susu tu HL. Okay. Alright. Okay, so that's why you can see whenever you eat something, baca kat belakang tu. Dia akan tulis trans fat, berapa persen. Even roti pun ada trans fat. Cuma ada roti yang rendah trans fat dia. Ada yang tinggi trans fat dia. Macam itulah. Okay. Okay. Alright. So what is the function of lipid? Function of lipid is for energy storage. Untuk menyimpan tenaga. Right? Ini fungsi lemak. Apa? Lemak ni penting sebenarnya. Untuk apa? Storage of energy. Simpanan tenaga. Where 1 gram of fat produces twice amount of energy than 1 gram of polysaccharide. Maksudnya apa? 1 gram lemak yang kita ambil, tenaga yang dibekalkan 2 kali ganda lebih tinggi daripada 1 gram karbohidrat kompleks, polysaccharide. Contoh polysaccharide, kita dah tengok starch kan? Starch. Contohnya. Starch banyak dalam contoh potato contohnya. Potato, rice, kan, keledi, they are rich in polysaccharide. Kompleks gula, sugar complex. So, awak bayangkan awak makan 1 gram kentang dengan 1 gram minyak ikan, tenaga yang dibekalkan oleh 1 gram minyak ikan tu lebih tinggi. Tenaga dia. Okay, alright. Dia tinggi HDL. Sebab dia minyak ikan, minyak olive oil macam tu. Okay, alright. So plant store fat in seed. So tumbuhan akan simpan minyak dia dalam biji benih dia. That's why kita bagus untuk kita makan makan apa? Biji kuaci. Biji apa? Sunflower seed. Gajus. What else? Apa nama? Apa dia? Kekacang. Macam itulah. Okay? Okay. That's why it is good because it contain high HDL. Okay, right. As for human and other mammals, so human and other mammals store fat in adipose cell. Adipose cell ialah sel lemak. Biasanya kat mana banyak sel lemak ni? Bawah kita punya kulit. Adipose cell. Okay. So kita panggil tisu lemak. Tisu lemak. Okay. Right. Tisu lemak. Alright. So what else? Okay. So finish with the first one, which is fat. Okay. Now please make a table of kat muka surat kosong, comparison between saturated fatty acid. Salah. Saturated fat and unsaturated fat. Beza antara lemak tepung dengan lemak tak tepung. Nombor 1. Apa dia? Saturated fat made of lemak tepu terhasil daripada fatty acid yang tepu. Okay. Yes. Made of saturated fatty acid. Okay. Kalau unsaturated? Made of unsaturated fatty acid. You can read my handwriting, kan? Okay. Okay. So, soalan ni, this kind of soalan, comparison question, is favorite in exam. So, when you are comparing something, make sure karakteristik you kena sama. Kalau ni you cakap pasal fatty acid, ni pun kena cakap pasal fatty acid. Baru dapat 1 markah. Betul kanan, betul kiri, 1 markah. Dia bukannya kanan betul, kiri salah, 1 markah. Tak. Dua-dua betul, baru 1 markah. Okay. Number 2. Apa beza saturated fat dengan unsaturated fat? Okay. Saturated fat is solid. Solid at room temperature. Okay, meda pendekkan temperature to TMP. You all kena tulis penuh. Tak cukup ruang. Okay. Unsaturated fat? Liquid at room temperature. Okay, 2. Lagi. Siapa ni? Okay. No carbon to carbon double bond. Unsaturated? Has tak kisahlah 1 ke lebih ke kan. Kita kalau ini tak ada, yang ini kita jawab ada. Betul dah lah. Okay. Jangan macam no carbon to carbon double bond. Yang sebelah ni awak jawab has. Has je. Tak boleh lah. Kena buat ayat penuh. Okay. Has carbon to carbon double bond. Okay. Lagi. Very good. Kat mana yang tak ada no king? Tak ada no king. Apa ayat aku ni? Saturated. No king. Unsaturated? Very good. Has king. Lagi 1. Example. Okay. Saturated fat, example. Example. Apa tadi? Butter. Kalau sebab dia minta general, differentiate. Kalau dia kata differentiate the characteristic, example tak boleh. Okay. Alright. Ni sebab tu dia letak example ni paling bawah sekali. Okay. Boleh buat kotak macam ni. Macam ni lah. Macam ni you buat. Jangan nak menyusahkan diri buat ayat penuh. While. Tak payah. Right? Kotak macam ni saja. Okay? Right. Okay, example butter, and for unsaturated example, tak cukup ruang dah ni. Okay, example fish oil lah. Mana tulis sini. You all tulis nanti apa lagi yang lain. Fish oil. Okay, so this is summary for lipid. Okay, sorry, for fat. Right. Okay, got it? All right. Okay, next we go to phospholipid. Sempat salin ke? Sempat. Okay. Okay, next we go to phospholipid. Okay, so phospholipid, right? Remember, this is the second type of lipid. Number one tadi, fat or triglyceride. Fat or triglyceride. Number two, now we are talking about phospholipid. Okay, example tadi yang masa triglyceride kita dah bincang pasal oil and also butter, kan? Okay, now for phospholipid. Phospholipid ni apa? Contoh dia, apa? Phospholipid is main component of cell membrane. Okay, right. Contoh, ni besok minggu ni we are going to do the second experiment where you are going to see the difference between animal cell and plant cell. You will get your own sample of your cheek cell. You akan korek dia punya pipi dalam, kita akan tengok sampel. Jumpa tak animal cell? Jumpa tak sel? Tak jumpa sel, lagi 2 Jumaat. Alright, kena dapatkan sel, okay? Right. So, phospholipid ni, dia macam ni. Okay, let's say this is an animal cell. Okay, ni nucleus. Okay, ni nucleus. So, and this one, Allah. So, ini yang kita panggil cell membrane ataupun plasma membrane. Okay, plasma membrane. If you zoom tengok dekat plasma membrane tu, you akan nampak it is actually made of phospholipid. Dia terbentuk daripada phospholipid. Membrane ni lah yang membenarkan air ke, gas ke, lalu ke, ada benda yang boleh lalu, ada benda tak boleh lalu masuk dalam sel. Okay, right. So, phospholipid is component of the plasma membrane. So, kita nak tengok apa rupa phospholipid ni. Okay, right. So, phospholipid made of 2 fatty acid, right, attached to glycerol, okay, and a phosphate group. Okay, so to make it simple, tadi ingat, fat, right, made of 3 fatty acid, 1 glycerol. Phospholipid is made of 2 fatty acid, 1 glycerol, 1 phosphate, and additional group that might attach to the phosphate. Madam tulis ini additional group. Two fatty acid. Okay, dalam exam tak boleh tulis FA. Madam tulis just untuk my notes. You have to write it completely. Fatty acid. 2 fatty acid, 1 glycerol, 1 phosphate group, and additional group. Kumpulan tambahan that might attach to the phosphate. Okay, right. So, phosphate group is negatively charged. Dia bercas negatif. That's why it can react with water. Okay, so can react with water. So, okay, right. Can react with water. Okay, right. Now, let's look at the structure of the phospholipid. Okay, this is one phospholipid. Okay, kita bahagikan dia kepada head region and tail. Bahagian kepala dan bahagian ekor. Now, look at the head region. Bahagian kepala. Bahagian kepala sifat dia hydrophilic. Ingat kenapa dia hydrophilic? Hydrophilic maksudnya suka air. So, it can react with water. Okay. Kenapa dia boleh react dengan air? Sebab phosphate tadi negative charge. Okay. Now, the hydrophilic head. Bahagian kepala composed of glycerol. This is glycerol. Jangan hafal. I mean, tak payah nak hafal CH2CH. Tak payah. Okay, you just know that is glycerol. And this is phosphate group, OPO3 2 minus ni. This is phosphate group. And this is the additional group. Ni. Bukan Choli. Colin. Colin. Alright. Okay. So, that is additional group that attached to phosphate. So, glycerol, phosphate, and additional group make up the hydrophilic head, bahagian kepala. Okay, right. And the tail, you can see here, the tail is hydrophobic. Okay, sebab you can see it is made of fatty acids. Okay, so ini adalah fatty acid number 1. This is fatty acid number 2. Ulang kaji. Which one is saturated fatty acid? 1 or 2? Which one is saturated? Kenapa awak tahu 1? Tak ada. No carbon to carbon double bond. Weh, aku lupa. Ada lagi satu kat sini. Kat sini ada lagi satu. Ada lagi satu. Sebelum nombor 5 ni. Ni nombor 6 ni. Saturated fat has maximum number of hydrogen atom. Has maximum number tulis betul-betul number and of hydrogen. Has maximum number of hydrogen atom. Kalau yang unsaturated, kita nak kata apa? Do not have maximum apa? Hydrogen atom is not maximum. Mana nak tulis? Nak tarik atas lah. Hydrogen atom is not maximum. So, itu letak nombor berapa? Letak nombor 5. Okay. So, yang example tu, nombor 6. Bawah lagi. Okay, dapat Okay. Alright, back to this one. Okay, so number 2. Fatty acid number 2. Fatty acid number 2 is unsaturated. How did you know that is unsaturated fatty acid? You cakap has king. You nampak ada king. You nampak dia membengkok. Has king ataupun has carbon to carbon double bond. So nampak ni ada double bond kat sini. So dia akan membentuk king. Right? So dia macam seolah-olah macam mana? Nampak tak ni? It's like a clown. Gambar yang ni. Right? It's like a standing clown. 2 kaki. Satu kaki dia macam tengah nak selfie. Nak ambil tengah macam tu. Right? And this is the body. Right? And the face is phosphate group. And the turban is choline. Alright? Okay? So you don't have to worry. So ini kaki dia tadi nak. Satu yang saturated. Number 1. This is unsaturated. Number 2. Okay. Right. So to make it easy, so we are not going to draw this clown, standing clown macam ni nak lukis dalam apa nota ke whatever. So we simplified the picture like this. So kita buat bulat and we draw 2 fatty acids. So yang bulat tu adalah kepala, iaitu sifatnya hydrophilic head, and this one is the hydrophobic tail. Hydrophobic tail. Okay, kita akan lukis macam tu je. So you don't have to worry. Okay. Okay, boleh? Alright. Next. Okay. Sikit lagi kita habiskan phospholipid and then we break for 5 minutes. Okay. Next, fatty acid. So you can see the fatty acid will form the hydrophobic tail, the phosphate group, the glycerol, plus the attachment will form the hydrophilic head. Okay. Right. In water, phospholipid will self-assemble into a bilayer. Bilayer maksudnya dui lapisan. They will self-assemble into a bilayer where hydrophobic tails will be pointing towards interior. Hydrophobic akan menghadap bahagian dalam. Okey, maksud dia macam mana ni? Dalam air. Dalam air, phospholipid akan membentuk seperti ini. Okey, dia akan membentuk seperti ini. Ini kita panggil dui lapisan. Satu lapisan yang ini lapisan pertama. Ini adalah lapisan yang kedua. Where you can see that hydrophobic tail pointing towards interior. Bahagian ekor, nampak ni? Dia akan menghadap sesama mereka. Okay, kenapa dia menghadap sesama mereka? Sebab dia tak suka air. Hydrophobic tail will pointing towards interior. Sebab dekat keliling-keliling ni semua adalah air. So hydrophobic tail will be pointing towards interior. So siapa yang menghadap air? The one that facing exterior. Facing exterior ialah hydrophilic head. Okay, so ingat, in water, this is what is going to happen to phospholipid. Okay, ingat keyword dia, hydrophobic tail facing toward interior, right? Hydrophilic head will be facing exterior. Sebab ingat, yang ekor tu is made of hydrophobic fatty acid or ataupun fatty acid. So dia takkan bertindak balas dengan air. Okay. Okay, faham? Okay. Another one. You can see this is what happened to phospholipid as they are in water. So they will be self-assembled into a bilayer. That's why nama dia jadi phospholipid bilayer. So yang ni apa? Ni apa? Bagus. Hydrophobic tails. Okay. Yang ini hydrophilic head. Philic maksudnya like, lover. So bolehlah apa ni? I philic you. I philic you. Okay. Guna bahasa sains instead of I love you, I philic you. Okay. Okay. Right. Next. Okay, faham ini? Alright. Okay, so we finish with phospholipid. Okay, now take 5 minutes break and we will continue. Okay. All right, so let's continue with the third type of fat, which is steroid. Okay, all right. So steroid. Okay, so steroid structure basically ataupun how to say okay, steroid basically made of cholesterol structure. Okay, so bentuk steroid or cholesterol is it consists of carbon skeleton with 4 fused ring. So dia mempunyai kerangka karbon with 4 fused ring dengan 4 ring yang bercantum. You can see this is the first ring, second ring, the third ring and the fourth ring. So regardless the shape, biasanya shape of the ring might be a little bit differ, tapi as long as dia ada 4 fused ring, this is structure of cholesterol. Alright, ataupun kita panggil example of the cholesterol here is steroid. Okay, right. Ingat so ini adalah bentuk kolesterol, contohnya adalah steroid. Okay. Apa contoh-contoh steroid yang you tahu? Steroid kat mana? Steroid dalam orang kata apa? Injection ke contohnya yang digunakan oleh orang bina badan. Lagi steroid yang ada dalam ubat. Alright, contoh ubat-ubat yang berkaitan dengan kulit contohnya. Biasanya contoh siapa yang ada allergic ke apa ke, biasanya kita akan sapu ubat kulit. Kalau you perasan dekat tiup kulit tu cuba tengok kat bawah ke kat belakang ke, dia mesti ada gambar 4 fused ring. Mesti ada gambar 4 ring tu. So gambar 4 ring tu menunjukkan ubat yang kita ambil mengandungi kolesterol. Even so tablet that we consume, ubat makan, kalau ada masalah hormon ke apa ke, kotak ubat tu ataupun ubat tu sendiri, kalau you tengok kat belakang dia ke depan dia, dia mesti ada 4 ring. So 4 ring menunjukkan ubat tu ada kolesterol. Ada kolesterol or steroid. Ada steroid. Okay, right. So, what are the function of cholesterol? Okay, so cholesterol is precursor from which other steroids are synthesized. Precursor here means bahan, how to say? Bahan mula ataupun bahan asas lah somehow, lebih kurang precursor. Okay, something that is needed lah in a way maksud dia. Okay, so cholesterol is precursor, bahan yang diperlukan ataupun benda yang sangat penting, needed, from which other steroids are synthesized. So kolesterol boleh membentuk steroid yang lain. Contoh, testosterone. What is testosterone? Testosterone is hormone, male hormone. Right. Do we as a woman has testosterone? We do have testosterone. Right. Tapi rendah level testosterone kita. Progesterone kita lagi tinggi. Right. But some women has a little bit high testosterone. That's why ada some perempuan yang dia ada bulu kaki, ada misai, itu sebab testosterone. Okay. Alright. Aku pun ada. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, apa dah cakap tadi? Lupa dah. Okay. So, and then have a little bit large voice. Right. So, we do need testosterone. Kita kena ada testosterone untuk perempuan. Especially in the case of, something that we need more, how to say, kadang-kadang kita perlukan the large voice. Hoi. We need that. Tadi kalau perempuan yang testosterone rendah sangat, kan? Nanti keluar. Macam tu. Right? So we do need, ada testosterone but very low testosterone. Okay? Alright. Next. Again, cholesterol increasing the concentration of LDL. LDL is Low density lipoprotein, which is bad cholesterol. So increased level of bad cholesterol is associated with atherosclerosis. What is atherosclerosis? Apa atherosclerosis? Google sekejap. Doctors kena tahu. Doctors, amin. Kahwin dengan doctors. Okay. You all kena tahu. What is atherosclerosis? Yes. Saluran darah tersumbat. Tapi siapa yang tengah Google silakan. Okay. Blockage of blood vessel. Okay. Saluran darah tersumbat. Vessel. Blockage of blood vessel due to kolesterol. Kolesterol melekat-lekat dekat dinding salur darah. So dia jadi tersumbat lah. Okay. Alright. So but increase in concentration of HDL is good for health. So ingat balik HDL tu ialah good. Yes, high density lipoprotein, the good cholesterol. Okay. Right. Okay. Despite, selain daripada cholesterol is the precursor to synthesize other steroid, what are the other function of cholesterol? Cholesterol is the raw material to manufacture vitamin D. Raw material maksudnya apa? Bahan mentah ataupun bahan keperluan lah. In order to manufacture vitamin D. Untuk menghasilkan vitamin D. What is the importance of vitamin D? Come on. Ask your uncle. Ask your uncle. Your uncle is Pakcik? Pakcik Google. What is the function of vitamin D? Why vitamin D is very important? Increase absorption of calcium and phosphorus, which is penting untuk tulang. So increase absorption of calcium and phosphorus. So in a way, it is very important for your bone. What else? Vitamin D. Apa lagi? Increase absorption of calcium and phosphorus for bone, to strengthen the bone. What else? Function of vitamin D. Reduce. Apa lagi? Apa yang baca? Reduce cancer cell. Reduce cancer cell. And many more. Okay. So cholesterol, now this cholesterol is referred to the good cholesterol. Okay. So cholesterol membantu to manufacture vitamin D. So despite that, right, cholesterol also is a main ataupun is one of the component of mammalian cell membrane that help to strengthen the membrane at high temperature. Okay. So remember plasma membrane tadi Mina tunjuk macam mana rupa dia. Dia adalah dua lapisan phospholipid bilayer like this. Okay. Dekat component of this plasma membrane, it has cholesterol. Dekat celah-celah ni ada struktur kolesterol. Bentuk ada 4 ring. Nanti kita belajar chapter 4. So dia akan ada macam tu. Dia akan nampak ada 4 fused ring in between of the plasma membrane. So ini adalah cholesterol. Okay. Oh, lambat sikit. Alright. So you can see the 4 fused ring. So the 4 fused ring in the middle or in the between of the phospholipid bilayer is the cholesterol, which helps to strengthen the plasma membrane at high body temperature. Okay. Right. Okay, dia lambat sikit. Okay, so finish with cholesterol. or steroid. Okay, so we have finished with the differences between fat or triglyceride, phospholipid, and also steroid. Okay, right. Okay, next one. So finish with that. Now we are moving into the new subtopic. Okay, new subtopic, which is protein. Okay. Any question for lipid tadi? No. Okay. Now let's go to protein. These are the LO for protein. Remember, protein is a macromolecule or not? Yes, it is a macromolecule. Okay, right. So the LO are to list the property of amino acid. Okay, senaraikan property amino acid. Number 2, discuss the formation of peptide bond. Nama ikatan dia, peptide bond. Classify amino acid into 4 main classes based on their side chain. Right? Explain 4-level structure of protein. Describe features and function of globular and fibrous protein with example, and define denaturation. So macam biasa, ambil gambar ataupun nanti refer dekat recording and paste it dekat buku. Okay, right. So insyaAllah with the time remains, mungkin kita boleh cover sampai nombor 1, 2 dan 3. Sampai nombor 3. Okay, right. Okay. Protein. Okay, so protein is a complex molecule, 3-dimensional in shape. Bentuk 3D. 3-dimensional in shape, or we call as conformation. Okay, listen here. You are going to meet this word again and again later on. Conformation. Ni. Kau jangan keliru dengan confirmation. That is different. Okay. Conformation here means shape. Shape or structure lah. Okay, conformation. So lepas ni kita akan jumpa lagi. Chapter 5 you akan banyak dengar perkataan conformation. Okay. So conformation mean shape. Okay. Protein is built up from 20 different amino acids. So meaning to say amino acid is dia punya monomer. For protein, the monomer is amino acids. And there are 20 different amino acids. Ada 20 jenis amino acid yang berbeza. Okay, right. And it consists of 1 or more polypeptides. Amino acid, gabung amino acid, gabung amino acid, gabung amino acid, dia akan membentuk polypeptides. So dia membentuk ni kita panggil apa ni? Polymer. Apakah polimer untuk protein? Polypeptide. Faham eh? Apakah polimer untuk karbohidrat? Polysaccharide. Kan? Okay. Okay, what is polypeptide? Polypeptide is polymers of amino acids. Rantaian panjang amino acid. Rantaian panjang amino acid that is joined together by peptide bond. Nama ikatan dia peptide bond. Kalau karbohidrat, nama ikatannya glycosidic linkage. Lipid, ester linkage. Protein, peptide bond. Madam, kalau saya buat peptide linkage boleh? Boleh. Tak ada masalah. Bond or linkage boleh. Okay, right. And 50% of dry mass of most cell consisting of protein. Boleh kata 50% setiap sel ataupun dalam tubuh pun adalah dalam bentuk protein. Contoh, hormon is protein. Antibody awak is protein. Enzyme is protein. Okay, transport protein is a protein. Protein pengangkut adalah protein. Contoh, red blood cell. Red blood cell tu pun protein. Okay. Apa lagi? Apa-apa? Tak dengar. Apa dia? Cakap je lah. DNA bukan protein. Dia polynucleotide. Itu lain. Okay. Right. Lagi apa? Red blood cell, transfer protein. Contohnya awak punya sel darah merah. Ini adalah protein. Okay. Rambut, protein. Kuku, protein. Muscle, protein. Okay. Daging-daging kita ni semua protein. Okay. That's why dikata 50% of dry mass, right, or body is actually composed of proteins. Okay, right. So due to that, protein have various functions. So you can see like number 1, acceleration of chemical reaction. Mempercepatkan kadar tindak balas kimia. Mempercepatkan tindak balas kimia. Ni siapa punya kerja ni? Enzyme. Bahasa Melayu, enzim. Mempercepatkan tindak balas kimia. Contoh, bila kita makan nasi, kita ada air liur. Dalam air liur tu ada enzim. That's why makanan tu boleh dicerna, kan? Kalau tak ada enzim, makanan tu boleh dicerna tak? Boleh je, tapi lambat. Okay. Okay, next. Number 2, protection against disease. Protect daripada penyakit. Ni siapa punya kerja? Antibody. Okay. Storage of amino acid. Tempat menyimpan amino acid. Ini contoh apa? Ini contoh albumin. Albumin tu apa? Kalau telur putih. Telur putih tu kaya dengan protein. Tahu tak? Telur ayam. Kita masak telur tu. Telur putih tu kaya dengan protein. Sebab dia menyimpan amino acid. Kalau yang telur kuning tu kaya dengan kolesterol. Okay. Albumin. Telur putih, albumin. Okay. Right, next. Transport substances. Mengangkat ataupun menghantar substance. Contohnya, kita punya red blood cell. Red blood cell kita mengangkat oksigen dan karbohidrat. Kan? Okay. Karbohidrat apa? Carbon dioxide. Okay. Next, coordination of organism activities. Mengkoordinasi aktiviti organisma. Ni contohnya hormon. Hormon. Contoh, bila awak tengah relax, hormon ni akan tinggi. Bila awak tengah stres, hormon ni akan tinggi. So, dia coordinate kita punya activities. Bila awak nampak crush awak lalu tadi, adrenaline naik. Debar. Okay. Alright, muka merah. Itu semua adrenaline punya kerja. Okay. Bila kita tengah rehat, kita rasa ngantuk, rasa relax, itu hormon lain. Alright. Bila kita nak tidur, hormon apa pula dia lain. So, it regulating our daily activities. Okay. Alright. Bila awak kena kejar anjing, nak selamatkan diri, adrenaline. Ada macam tu lah. Okay. Alright. Okay, next. Response of cell to chemical stimuli. Memberi respon terhadap tindak balas kimia. Memberi respon terhadap tindak balas kimia. Okay. Ini macam-macam. It can be hormone, it can be antibody, right? Okay, so tu. Then number 7 and number 8, movement and support. Ini contoh muscle. Kan, muscle akan attach dengan tulang. So that's why we can move. Okay, alright. Muscle. M-U-S-C-L-E. Alright, so these are functions of protein for us to know. Kenapa kita kena belajar pasal protein? Because protein is very important. Okay, right. Okay, so finish LO number 1. LO number 2, structure of amino acid. Struktur amino acid. Okay, remember amino acid is the monomer for protein. Okay. Macam mana rupa amino acid? Kena hafal. Okay. You dah nampak tadi belajar macam mana rupa 3 glyceride. 3 fatty acid campur dengan 1 glycerol. You dah belajar macam mana rupa Phospholipid, 2 fatty acid, campur 1 glycerol, campur phosphate group, campur additional group. Yang clown tu kan? Okay. So, macam mana rupa amino acid? So, amino acid shape or structure is like this. Okay. Alright. Where? Let's see here. There are 4 components attached to the asymmetric alpha carbon. So, ada 4 komponen yang akan terikat dengan alpha carbon ataupun kita panggil carbon tengah. Alpha carbon. Okay. Okay. Ada 4 komponen yang akan attach dengan alpha carbon. So, this is alpha carbon. Ni. Alpha carbon. Carbon tengah. So, ada 4 komponen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Nah, macam tu. Alright. Okay. The first one. Yang sebelah kiri. Right. Is amino group. NH2. NH2. So, that is amino group. Okay. Number 2. Sebelah kanan. That is carboxyl group. C double bond O, OH ataupun COOH. So, number 2, carboxyl group. Okay. Number 3, variable group. That symbolized as R. Yang diberi simbol R. Variable. Variable maksudnya dia pelbagai. Okay. So, R ni boleh jadi anything. So, nanti kita tengok. Okay. And number 4, dia mesti ada satu bahagian yang ada hydrogen atom. Satu hydrogen atom. This one. Okay. Right. Madam, boleh ke yang karboksil duduk sebelah kanan tu, dia pergi sebelah kiri? Boleh. Madam, boleh ke hidrogen kat bawah tu dia kat atas? Boleh. Okay. Tapi untuk bagi you faham dan kita mungkin tak nak peningkan kepala you, ikut ni. Ikut ni. Sebelah kanan confirm karboksil, sebelah kiri amino group. Atas dengan bawah tu kita tukar-tukar lah. R mungkin kat atas, H kat bawah atau mungkin H kat atas, R kat bawah. Okay. Yeah. So this is the structure of amino acid. Okay. Okay. So the structure of amino acid is composed of carboxyl group, hydrogen atom, okay, amino group, and variable group that symbolized as R. Okay. Different R group characterize the 20 different amino acid. Remember, amino acid semua ada 20. Yang menentukan apa nama setiap satu 20 amino acid tu adalah berdasarkan R group dia. So, R group setiap amino acid adalah berbeza. And thus, the property also will be determined by the R group. Okay. Maksudnya jenis-jenis amino acid ke apa ke is also determined by the R group. Alright. Okay. So, ni dah salin? Ni ada kena salin? Dah. Dah. Okay. So, as such, there are 3 major group of amino acid according to R group. Ada 3 kelas amino acid yang utama. Nombor 1, non-polar amino acid. Nombor 2, polar amino acid. Nombor 3, charged amino acid. Okay. Under charged amino acid, it's subdivided into 2. Under charge, ada 2. Yang bercharge, ionized. 1, acidic. 1 lagi, basic. Okay. Okay, let's go one by one. So this is our last LO. Okay. Right. Non-polar amino acid. Non-polar or we call as hydrophobic. Maksudnya dia tak boleh bereact. Tidak boleh bertindak balas dengan air. So number 1 is non-polar or hydrophobic amino acid. Example here is glycine. Okay, jap. You all tak ada gambar ni. Tapi gambar ni penting. So nanti tengok balik recording, screenshot, print out. Okay, alright. Now let's see glycine. So glycine is the first classification of amino acid which is non-polar. Tengok betul-betul fokus. Okay. Now, sebelah kanan ni apa? COOH ni apa? This is the carboxyl group. Okay, sebelah kiri? Okay, very good. This is the amino group, NH2. Okay, yang bawah ni adalah? Okay, hydrogen atom. Yang atas? This is actually the R group. Tapi R group dia adalah hydrogen. So, kalau R group dia adalah hydrogen, maka dia dalam klasifikasi non-polar. Faham? Okay, contoh glycine. Madam, saya kena hafal ke status setiap contoh tu? Tak payah hafal. Tapi you tengok, you tahu. Oh, ini R group dia ada H. So, dia adalah non-polar. Madam, saya kena hafal ke nama glycine, aspartic, aspirin? Tak payah hafal. Yang penting tengok tahu this one is which classification. That's it. Okay? Alright. Okay, ni non-polar. Contoh glycine. Okay, now let's see the second example. Polar. Polar or hydrophilic amino acid. Example, serine. Okay, now let's see serine. Nampak tak? Struktur dia berbeza. Okay, mana dia punya carboxyl group? Yes, this one. COOH. Okay, so this is carboxyl group. Which one is amino group? Okay, this one. This is amino. Okay, mana H dia? H dia yang bergabungan C ni sebenarnya dia macam gini. Faham tak? Ini hydrogen atom dia tapi dia duduk sebelah sini. Okay, so ni dengan ni adalah benda yang sama. So ni adalah hydrogen atom. Dan mana dia punya R group? Ni CH2OH. So this is actually the R group. So what makes it polar? Apa yang menyebabkan dia jadi polar? Sebab ada OH ni. OH hydroxyl. Okay, sebab ada OH tu. Menyebabkan dia jadi polar. Madam, yang ni H dia kat atas, yang ni H kat bawah. Kan bila cakap dia boleh naik atas. Ikut. Yang penting awak fokus tengok kat mana dia punya R group. Faham Okay, next one. Charge. Okay. The charge amino acid divided into two, acidic or basic. Okay, kalau acidic, the R group will be negatively charged. And for basic, the R group will be positive charge. Contoh acidic, aspartic acid. Contoh basic amino acid is lysine. Lysine ni banyak dalam susu. Mengandungi lysine. Ada lagi tryptophan apa semua tu nama amino acid tau. Ada 20 semuanya. Okay. Okay, jom kita tengok aspartic acid. Okay, mana R group dia? Yang warna apa R group dia? Warna apa R group? Warna biru, tengok betul-betul. Yang warna kuning. Ni. This is the R group. Ini apa COO minus ni? Ini adalah sebenarnya carboxyl. Madam, H dia pergi mana? H dia pindah kat sebelah sini. Tapi ini berlaku dalam air. Kita belum belajar. Next, nanti kita belajar. Okay. Saja nak tunjuk dulu. Okay. So, ini adalah carboxyl. Mana amino? Ni. Yang ini amino. Mana H? Yang ini. Right? This is the R group. You can see the R group is negatively charged. Ni, nampak? O negative. So, this is acidic. Example, aspartic acid. Okay, what about lysine? Which one is the R group? Yang kuning ni is the R group. This is the R group. And you can see the R group is positive charge. So that is basic amino acid. Okay, sifat dia adalah base. Alkali lah. Macam tu. Okay, alright. Any question? No? Okay, so next kita akan sambung properties of amino acid nanti semua insyaAllah. Okay, so no question? Okay, so if no question then I will stop the